Well, welcome, everyone. Well, we're not going to answer that phone call because it's a spam risk. I don't even like hanging up because then I know it's a real number. So how's everyone doing? Thought I'd jump on here real quick, hang out for a little bit. I'm filling my tanks up, doing some water changes. They were ready to get water changes. It was time, and I'm just doing RO, so I'm not replacing anything whatsoever. The TDSs are up, and I checked, I spot check tanks, so I don't check every tank. I just, like I said, I spot check, so I might do 2 on the top, do one or two on the middle here, check and see where the GH and everything is. And if all that stuff is good, and just the TDS is high, then I just do a water change. Just a basic, gallon and a half water change. I don't do anything too severe. Oh yeah, you guys see my shirt? The Dadalorian. Yep, got another cool shirt for my birthday. Got this one and another one. They actually came late. Yeah, they came 3 days late. She knows how much I like t-shirts, so she gets me all these cool ones. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I have my little TDS tester out. This is the one we use here. They sell this at the pet store, the fish store by me, so they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive, but I think they're 15 or 17 bucks a piece, but I got 2 of them in case I need an extra. In case that one breaks or something, or I don't know. I mean, it is an electronic. It can break. Muppets 929, welcome. How are you? So yeah, I keep one extra on hand at all times, because you just don't know. You could drop it, bust it. I don't know. Your dog could chew it up. Your son could break it. Who knows? There's so many things that could happen to your TDS meter. So that's what we're doing here today. Got a few other things. I'm good. How are you doing? I am doing well. Other than my painful stiff neck, all is doing very well. I'm very happy and proud of what's going on in my tanks. Everything seems to be doing really good. I don't have any complaints, really. Seriously, no. I don't have any complaints. Don, what's happening, my brother? Yeah, nothing. All is well. So yeah, it's pretty good. There are no, like I said, there's everything's going good. There's nothing bad going on. So all the shrimp seem to be doing really good. My red Rilis just had their babies. I seen them all over the tank a little bit ago. The orange-eyed yellow King Kongs had babies. The red King Kongs had babies. The red Fishbones had another batch of babies. The orange Rilis, of course. The Shadow Pandas had Black King Kong Shadows. They had babies, of course. The PRLs had more babies. I mean, it just the Snow White stuff like that. That had a bunch of babies. It just yeah, everything's just doing really, really good. The Blue Dreams are doing really good. I mean, it's just the tanks are just starting to. I'm really starting to see a lot of offspring in the tanks. My biggest one are the oranges. I mean, there's so many babies in there. The greens are doing really good. And here's the good thing is the green jades. The babies are a very nice green. From what I can see, I mean, I haven't gotten super close to them, but sitting back like this, looking down, seeing all the babies in there, they're all green. So, percentage-wise, it's very good. Looks like there's like 2 I want to get out of there, but maybe I'll snag them now. Because that's the issue is sometimes I'll see, where might I go? Up here. Sometimes I'll see shrimp that need moved. And hold on, I gotta move the fill hose. And if I don't get them right away, uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, all right. And if I don't get them right away, they could disappear, go back into the tank somewhere. And it could be a while before I see them again. So, let me scoop these. There's 2. Hey, I'm sure there's more. But there's 2 right in front. And I don't know if it's just discolored. It's a female. So I don't know why she's discolored, but. And then there's another one. Looks clear. But see, being on the pool sand like I have them, the weaker colored shrimp. That was my whole thing, a year or more ago when I had all my shrimp on white. Was my idea was to have them on white, and then the weakest colored shrimp would show more clear, and so I would call those out, and those would be my culled shrimp. Well, then I called them out and put them on black substrate, and they looked beyond perfect. When they grew up, their colors were super extreme. So that's when I said I'd never keep shrimp on light substrate again. Well, having the blue dreams and like the green jades and stuff and the blue diamonds and the blue sapphires and the black rose. The black over here, these were supposed to be black rose years ago, but they're more of a Sakura than anything because they only throw black. But they look really good on the black, and I can see the babies and stuff up there. I mean, I probably could have kept them on black, but I was unsure of what it would be. or how they would look. So I'm not happy with the color that they're on, but I can see the shrimplets way better, and I can pay attention to, are my shrimp breeding? You know, uh, you know, I could tell, instead of looking in there going, gosh, I can't even see any babies anywhere, and so that's not good. You always want to be able to tell what your shrimp are doing. And if you have them on a substrate, well, me being a breeder, having them on a substrate that I can't see all of them, that's not really good. So, I mean, yellows and oranges and reds and, red Rilis and snowballs and orange Rilis and, you name it, they all pop on black. But the blues don't. The blues kind of blend in. The green Jades kind of blend in. So that was, that's an issue I had to deal with. Like I said, I would like to change it again, but put them on something else better. But I'd have to find another substrate to do it with. Because, like I say, I'm not the happiest with it, but it's better than having them on that crappy gray or having them on black. I mean, black will show them good if I put a camera on it. It'll show you how nice they are, but I can't see them very well. So, what is this? I'm disappointed I don't have any more baby Corys in my tank. There were a bunch of eggs. I didn't do anything to help them, but I figured one or two would have made it. Brian P., what's up? I can't remember who, but someone was talking about your shrimp in an earlier stream. They were pleased with them. Oh, with my shrimp? Well, that's good. I wish I would have saw that. I always like a positive review. I don't know if I've ever even gotten a negative review. Don't believe I have. I know for a minute there, out of my negligence, I didn't check the temperatures in other states when I sent a few packages out, and I don't know what happened, but they didn't make it. So, but I do that now. But yeah, that's good. I like having a positive review. I'm just looking at all these snow whites on this leaf, on this Indian almond leaf that wouldn't sink, and they all got on the end of the stem and rode it all the way down to the bottom and then crawled off, and now it's starting to float up again. So anyone get any new shrimp? Hey, in my last order, you put a small cup of food. What was that? The shrimp love it. Probably my homemade shrimp food. Was it dark green? Yeah, the little cup. Yeah, I'm sure it was my homemade shrimp food. Because usually I give my homemade shrimp food or I give my powdered food, the crack sacks, the mulberry leaf powder. So I like to give either one of those, so when you choose to start feeding the shrimp, notice the food that you're putting in the tank. And so you can see how good the food actually works. But yeah, that's my homemade little get up. Yeah, that's probably my best bet so far because I went above and beyond and put a bunch of stuff in there I've never used before. So green, yeah. And the stuff that I put in there, actually, they responded to it so well that I want to make more. And I have the mulberry leaf powder to make it. It's just I have to. I'm missing one ingredient, and it's a purchased ingredient. I just don't know if I want to purchase it again, so I might use someone else's products. Because it's a shrimp food. It's an expensive shrimp food. And I put the bottle cost me $21. It was actually, I mean, I don't mind saying it, but I put a whole bottle of Shrimp King Mineral in the food. So, I bought it and I thought, well, what's the sense in feeding this, at separate times? I'd rather have a food that, you feed it and they get everything out of it. So, yeah, that was one of the ingredients that was in the food that I sent you. And so, like I say, just that one part of the recipe, that's $20 just right there. So that's why I say, if people want my food, it's not like other foods. I mean, I'm not saying people don't put money in other foods, but I don't put fillers in it. So I don't use flour and all the stuff to make more. Like take a pound of shrimp food, add all this fillers, and then I have 5 pounds of shrimp food. No, I take a pound of shrimp food and make a pound of shrimp food. So that's why I haven't more or less put it on the website for sale. Look, I'll sell it to you, but it's just not cheap. It's you could buy a big bag from somebody for, I don't know, $10, but it wouldn't be that cheap. I wouldn't be able to sell it at that, because like I said, one ingredient cost me $20. So, and I have quite a few ingredients in it. And then, the mulberry powder I make by hand. I go pick it all. I grind it. I dry it all. I grind it all. I pulverize it all. So, I mean, I have hours worth of work, just in the mulberry powder and then, all the other stuff that I put in it. So that's why I don't push it. I make the food and I more or less just use it myself. I don't have an issue with selling it, but with what I want for it, I wouldn't want to, more or less kind of upset anybody and be like, you want how much? And it's like, well, but, putting the shrimp mineral in there, the Shrimp King mineral, that covers a lot of bases, putting it into a food. So, I mean, you put a high quality food like that in there, as one part, that, that's pretty good right there, so, and look, you paid $20 for a little bitty bottle of that stuff, so, I mean, well, you still get quite a bit in it, but, yeah, I just don't want to, freak anybody out if they ask me how much it is, so that's why I haven't. I mean, when I made it, I said it was for sale, but it's actually, I only got like one half of a container left, so I have to make some more, so I'm ready for winter, but I probably have probably $50 in materials just to make it. So I don't want to, it's not in my best interest to make or to sell the food and just get back what I put into it, so that's why I kind of just say, well, I'll just use it myself. Now I'm curious how much it is. But for those of us with just a few tanks that last for, well, yeah, see, that's the whole thing. If you don't use it every day, I use it seriously once a week. Who is it? Sicklets23. He just put in an order, and I sent him the Northfin food because Pumpkin King asked if I would put it on the store to sell it in the store. And I can do that, more or less. If you want to buy Northfin food, I can sell it to you in the little plastic cups that I have. Because I'm also going to start selling the shots. There's Pumpkin King. Shrimping ain't easy. Chilling with B and the D family. What's happening? But I mean, yeah, I want to sell shots of the nutrifying bacteria. So it's 20 milligrams or is it milliliters? Yeah, milliliters or whatever. I'd have to read the thing, but it's 20 for a 10-gallon tank. So if somebody doesn't want to buy a whole bottle, they can buy shots of it. So it'd be like $5 for a shot, and those cups that my wife got, they snap airtight. They click hard. So that's what I wanted. So when it comes, you can just pop it over, dump it in, rinse it out in your tank, and throw it a cup away or use it for something else. But so now I can sell it in shots instead of, if you're just getting ready to start a tank and you only have one tank, or you have two tanks and you don't want to spend $25 on a bottle plus $15 or $12 shipping. Now you can buy a shot of it. Like, let's say you order something, you can pay the extra $5 and get a shot of, beneficial bacteria, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just and then the Northfin food, you can buy that too. I'll have to come up with it'd probably be like for one of those cups. Let me get one so you guys can see how big it is. But for like one of these cups, see how the lid's connected to it? But for one of these cups full of food, I don't know, it'd be like, let's say like, I don't know, $2 or, yeah, because it's like, I wouldn't even barely make much off of this one. If I sold these for $2 a piece, it would run this thing down pretty fast. I might make $5 off of it. But it would give you the Northfin has the same plus way more than bug bites. And so I can't even believe it. I'm sorry, I just keep looking. That's like the worst thing ever to overflow a tank. So that's all I'm watching. See, I have it pumping over here. So I just hooked the hook up there. You guys see the hook. I just have my hook, and it's pumping from way over there at my RO. And as the can goes, I just take my RO buckets. Like I tell you guys, I always got 5-gallon buckets full, right? So I pump out of the can till it starts to go down, and then I go over and get buckets and start pouring those in. And so you figure if I do 1 gallon per tank, it's 10 gallons up here, it's 20 gallons down here. So, I mean, you figure that's only 4 or 5 gallon buckets. But I do a little extra in some tanks. Like I got a 15 gallon, and the TDS was a little higher on that, so I did a little more. The Blue Bolts is a little higher, I did a little more. But they're all around, I don't know, a gallon, maybe 2 gallons, so not huge amounts. So it's not bad. What's good, bro? Sorry, been listening while taking a shower. Oh, well, don't be saying that too loud, my man. Don't be dropping the soap or nothing. Holy snikes. Woo. Um, nothing. It's all good. Just doing water change. Well, I done changed the water already. I'm just filling back up now. So I figure I'd say hi for a little bit. What is that? Wow. There's a blue steel in my blue shadow tank, my Black King Kong shadow tank. He's so blue, he's on the pipe, and I thought it was like a Neo or something. It was so dark. Is it possible to put in too much bacteria? Is it possible? Well, yeah, you could dump the whole bottle in. The only thing that could be a negative if you put too much in, and it's easily to fix, is if you put too much of the bacteria in, it can drop the pH way down. It can drop it down. But I mean, if you only put a little extra in, it's not going to hurt nothing. But you could drop it down. It can drop it pretty far down because the bacteria is live. So when you put it in the tank, it starts to work immediately, and that's why there's an amount that you're only supposed to put in your tanks and during water changes or in a new tank. But just if you put in if you put in too much or something, just check the pH on it. If it's okay, you should be fine. If you're worried about it, take out, a half a gallon of water or something, and just put plain RO to dilute it a little bit. But I highly doubt that it'd be anything, worrisome. Danikin, what is happening, sir? How are you? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. LP lurking. Good evening, Detroit Shrimp and Aquatic and everyone in chat. Well, hello, LP. How are you? That's cool. That's my son's initials. I like that. Bro, I need some more of the Shadow King Kongs. I have buttloads. Are you looking for the regulars, or are you looking for the Extreme Black King Kong baby shadow ones, the ones I got over there? Just living, brother. Well, that's good. That's good. Hey, that's all you can ask anymore these days, right? Just living and being able to smile every day. I think that's the most important thing. Having friends and being able to smile. That's about what it comes down to. I'm poor. What? Is this the way the conversation's gonna start? I'm poor. Huh? Oh, yeah, I am. How low's that can over there? That first one? All right.
I can see the top, so.
Okay, cool. Right. Oh, Danikin, I seen your video that you bought more discus. Boy, oh boy, man, it's those things had me at go, man. Those things are beyond addictive for me. Trying to breed them, going into breeding discus and stuff. It was a challenge. It was fun. There's a lot of stuff that you know, doing it at my home here would have been good, but I mean, I don't know, to be able to say it, I was a discus breeder is probably the furthest from the truth, because I mean, to breed discus, I mean, you need a setup. I mean, I had discus breeding all the time, but to do it properly, to have the abundance of tanks and, you know, just the water constantly changing, to have the freshest water. I just never had that setup. It would have been a dream to have, but you know, it's that's to be able to do that stuff, you have to have like a really nice you know, hookup, you know. But I had some discus I never even saw before. I mean, I had wild discus. I had people just giving me discus. I had so many discus at times. I mean, I was having to do daily water changes in tanks because, you know, a 90 gallon with like 125 discus in it, you know, it was like, but I just had people giving me wild discus, and they'd buy discus and say, oh, you know, I didn't know that it was so hard to take care of them. And, you know, but it just became too overwhelming. I mean, now to keep discus, just to have them as pets in your tank, you know, that's, you know, it's not the hardest thing. But to have so many discus and, you know, without a water changing system and all this and that, it just became a lot of work. And then when the bottom fell out, nobody wanted to buy a discus anymore. I was just like, all right, I gotta go. I gotta stop. You know, it's, you know, I was buying discus for $100 to $200 a fish, you know, and it was, you know, I was buying like bald eagles, red eagles, or whatever they were called. I mean, these things were incredible. There was some breeders around by me that I met, and I went to their house. I mean, have it in their house, and they had this set up, you know, and they would get shipped in these discus, and I'm like, phew. I mean, they were just sick, and I thought to myself, you know what? They're more advanced than I am. You know, they had systems and water running 24/7 and changing this and that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm out of my league with this. And I thought, how is he making any money? Because no one's buying discus. No one's buying discus, you know. The bottom just fell out. You know, my buddy's store, he buys them, and he'll buy from Hans. That's where I got most of mine from, was from Hans Discus. And you know, he'll buy 25 or whatever and put them in his tank, and they could be in there for 2 months. You know, and every once in a while people come in. But now it's you know, you have to find the people that are discus, diehard discus keepers, you know, to more or less sell them, because not that they're hard, but it's like, you know, there's not much that you can do with a tank full of discus. I mean, you can put other fish in, but the second they get scared, they turn dark, they get sick. You know, it's crazy. I'll tell you, this is so much simpler than how I used to do water changes. And the reason I like this hook is because I can control the amount of water that goes in these tanks. Before, I used to have to stick the hose in there, put a clamp on it, and, you know, turn. I don't even know. I can't. Oh, I put a hose end on it, you know, for like out washing cars and stuff. But I bought this hook and made it so it hook up over there at my water, and it's just changed my whole life. But yeah, so that's my thing on discus. I'm addicted to discus, but I can't get discus. I mean, I just can't. I would have to have a 300-gallon tank, and I would put, 300 disc. I watched a video yesterday. Jeez, Pizza was on Instagram, I think. Somebody was sending me some stuff on Instagram, and matter of fact, I don't understand. It's really weird. Somebody friends me, starts following me on Instagram, and then says, "Hey, can I buy some shrimp?" Sure. Where are you located? Never get an answer. It's like, why do you even waste your time? But, so yeah, it makes my water changes 10 times easier. I could chill while I'm doing it. I can put the water in as fast as I want, as slow as I want, meaning, I can, and usually what I do when this is going on, I'll do, I'll clean filters and stuff. But today was a short day for me, so I'm able to do this today. Yes, sir. Able to do this today. So, Pumpkin King, when did you become poor? I don't understand that. That's pretty funny. I like that one. I'm poor. Who's poor? Whatever, dude. Sure am glad you're here, though. I sure am glad you're here, though. So, has anybody gotten, like, not just shrimp, but has anybody gotten any new products or anything that they'd like to brag about? I'm trying to, asshole. Hold on. I swear. New pen chat. You can pen a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Check any message to pen it. Oh, okay. I see. Cichlids, what's up, dude? So I will be starting a new job soon. What? Doing what? You're not. Oh, it's probably at the same place, right? You wouldn't leave the place you're working at. What's up, Cichlids 23? Yo, 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 what up, what up? So I watched a video about how plants, the same aquarium, cause nitrates if they are slow growers. Yeah? Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of telling you about your about that one plant that you have. What is it? Gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but it doesn't do well in soft water. And it actually starts to break down, and that'll create nitrates. And then when I was having a problem, even Mark Shrimp Tanks made a video about something was going on with his tank or something. I don't know if it was his TDS or what, but he went and checked it, and he showed it, and it was that same stuff. his was breaking down, rotting, and I had it in my tanks, and it was just destroying it. I think it was, I can't remember what one it was in, but it was not doing good. My red Fishbone tank, I think, and it was all over the bottom, and I couldn't get them to breed or anything. And now I have, knock on wood, they're doing really good. They're breeding like kittens. Well, my issue is both my Caridina tanks have high nitrates, and I don't have any plants. Well, then it sounds to me like your tanks aren't cycled. Are your tanks crashing? Is the water cloudy or anything? Are you having? I mean, I don't understand nitrates. Yeah, well, it's from your cycle, your plants breaking down. You don't have plants in them. Well, you only have shrimp in them, so there can't be too much waste. Well, I mean, there can be, but overfeeding? Are you overfeeding? I mean, you said before that you're probably overfeeding. But feeding too much, yes, feeding too much. If you have no plants, you might be a happy feeder like I used to be. I swear I have the addiction. I have a feeding addiction. I have to admit it to everyone. I have an addiction. I'm sorry. But I have an addiction. It's a feeding addiction. Because once I feed one tank, I have to feed them all. I do. I can't go, this tank just has like 100 shrimp in it. They have to eat every day, which a tank that has a lot of shrimp has to eat every day. You want to give them a supplement unless the tank is packed with algae, however you like to say it. But if you skip meals, that tank won't have biofilm and algae buildup in it for very long. So that's another thing that the live bacteria is good for, is to continue the growth of that bacteria. No, they are both clear. I tested the RO and it was a little high. What was a little high? The nitrates? You have nitrates in your RO? Or are you saying that TDS is high? But TDS isn't nitrates. So, Ciclid says my 10-gallon is a mess. TDS is 105. He says, which sounds great, but the levels are all too high. Damn pothos roots. I trimmed them last week. Did a water change. Pulled my test strip out to check. Ugh. What can I add to that? The nitrates. And you have nitrates in your RO? If you have nitrates in your RO, then you're probably going to want to go. What's your TDS when it comes out of your RO? Good evening, LP. Hello, LP. TDS 105, which sounds good, but the levels are all too high. Damn pothos roots. I trimmed them last. Oh, what I wanted to say is, at one time, reading Ciclid's little story there, there was one time, that's why I don't like to use it, or why I don't trim it anymore. If I trim it, I just put it in, try to find a fish tank to put it in for like a week for it to heal up. But what's the name of that plant? It's not Boost. It's the stuff that grows it. Really slow grower. Not Joe. God, I can't think of the name of it. 3 TDS with the RO. No, B, that's not the RO tank. Maybe just more water changes. I have to think of the plant. But anyways, I cut it and put it in the plant or in the tank. I trimmed it, put it back in, and a bunch of my shrimp started dying. Anubias, there you go. Thank you, cichlids. And so I swear, I mean, I have it in my coal tank, but I have it in there with the super red saffrons. But I have it in there, but I don't cut it. I cut it the other day, and I just cut the roots off because the roots are like this long. And I watched a video the other day showing or stating that if you have Anubias, just like any plant, you know, like I have plants upstairs that shoot a seed pod up. You want to take that out because it's using all the growth to shoot a seed pod on. Well, same with the roots. The longer the roots grow, then they're, you know, the roots are eating. I know it goes to the plant, but they're sustaining those roots. Well, if you have the plant living already and it's doing great, you don't need those roots. You want it to eat and put up into the plant. Well, I didn't know, and my Anubias are ugly because, you know, the roots. So he just showed cut them all the way back, you know. I mean, not all, you know, leave about a ½ inch to an inch. And then it'll start to put the growth into the plant because that's where my Anubias, like, struggle. I've had my Anubias for years, and they're not impressive. There's nothing about Anubias that excites me. There's nothing about Anubias that'll make me buy more. Now, Buce, it's got to be the most incredible plant. It looks incredibly super cool when a shrimp is sitting on it. They're very beautiful. The leaves are very beautiful, and then when the flowers come up, it's really sweet. But like, I don't know if you guys remember a while ago, I bought an auction. I bid on an auction and I won it. It was a bunch of the root, or you know, the stems of Buce. You know, the rhizomes. It was just a bunch of rhizomes. And I got it for $10. There's like 15 or 12 or something. There's a bunch in there. No plants on, nothing. So I bought those, threw them in my tanks, and now they're all growing. You know, they all have leaves all the way across them. So I'm like, wow, now I have all these rhizomes that are growing that I can propagate and make more off of. And I paid what one Buce would cost for a bunch of rhizomes that I had to grow, you know, and you figure in like 3-4 months, I'm going to have really nice plants I can separate. No, that's not the RO tank. 3 TDS with the RO. Anubias. My RO tank is in the new Apistos. That's at 185. Three TDS, but you have high levels of nitrates. Yeah, you're probably going to need, I'd hate to say that your system's not hooked up right. And I'd hate to tell you to change your filter. It can't be. It's got to be you need the DI. Because like I have the RO, I don't have the DI. Because he tried to explain it to me by saying, oh, I need water. He tried to explain it to me by saying, like, if your TDS comes out 2, if I had the DI, it'll come out 0. Well, my TDS comes out a 0, between 0 and 2, 1. It just, wherever it feels like coming out. And I've been running it for a year. Never even changed the filters or anything. But, like I said, our water is different. I mean, my TDS is 102. My GH out of the tap is 5 to 6, you know, which makes the KH, you know, 3 to 4. No nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, you know, none of that stuff. And that's right out of my tap. So I feed, you know, I actually give the wastewater to my Neos to give them even more minerals. you know. I think that's why they thrive so well for me, because I give them the wastewater. You know, it shocks me that when you go into a fish store, they're running the wastewater into the drains. You know, and they're like, well, do you know how much water costs? It's cheap. And I'm like, so you sell the RO water thinking it's going to pay the water bill? And I don't know, because RO water is not expensive at a fish store, at least not around here. I think it's $2.50 for 5 gallons, I think. So it's like $5 for 10 gallons. That's not a lot, you know, so, but I think I want to say something like it's 6 cents a gallon or something. I don't know if that's right. It's really cheap. Water's cheap, but yeah, they just run that stuff down the drain. I don't. I changed my cichlid tank with it, and I changed my Neocaridina tank with it. And let's say I run out of it when I'm doing water changes, then the rest of them just get regular tap water. The RO I buy from LFS. What? So, all right, let me ask you this again. You're saying that your RO water has nitrates in it, and you get the RO water from your local fish store, and you're saying that their water has nitrates in it. Is that what you're saying? That you buy water that's got high nitrates in it? If that's true, then their system's dirty. Hold on one second. Please. All right. Yes, sir. It has nitrates. It's dull orange on the chart. Bro, you're like paying for garbage, bro. You're paying for stuff to kill your shrimp. Yeah, so they're, yeah, do RO, buddy, dude. That's what we all, I paid, go online, because I bought mine in the store for $99. And who was it said they went online and got it? Well, there, Don's saying, look, $59. There you go, $60. And you can, dude, that's no bueno. Yeah, they're selling you garbage water. It's really weird that they sell water that has nitrates in it. I don't know. Yeah, you got, dude, just order one. It literally takes like probably 20 minutes to set it up. Just because, you know, the little clips on there, you got to pop the little clip off, stick the hose in, then pull it out. You know, you got to put it in until it pops, and then pull it out a little bit, and then put the little blue clip back on. You know, you just have to, you know, have your hoses right. But the other thing you're going to want to get is the pump. I talked Dan into it. You know, asked Dan Slee about it, because before, when I first bought the RO Buddy, or when I bought mine, I think it's RO Buddy. I know my pump is, but when I bought my RO system, I was getting like it was horrible. I was getting like 5 gallons of RO to 20 gallons of wastewater, due to the fact I have a lot of water pressure. I mean, I could fill up a bottle in seconds, but there's something, I don't know, there's something about it. So the pump is an additional 100 and, I don't know, 100 and some bucks. Probably like maybe 150. But what that does is it pressurizes your system, and it balances it out. So for every 5 gallons of RO water, I get 5 gallons of wastewater. So I can fill both tanks up at the same time, and they'll fill to the top. And then what I do is, like, I'll do a water change on my cichlid tank and empty the whole thing, and then empty the RO into my buckets, and then fill them both back up again. But if I don't need to do a water change on the cichlid tank or my shrimp tanks, then I pull the hose out of the wastewater bucket and I stick it over in a laundry tub, and then I turn it back on and I just fill up the RO. So, I mean, if I don't have anywhere to put it, I will run it down the drain. But it's far and few between. Oh, okay, there you go, 110 bucks. So that's cheaper than what I pay. Way cheaper on the filter. And so if you, Pumpkin King, Brian, do you have the RO Buddy helper pump? I don't know if it's, hold on, I don't know if it's called the helper pump. Don, it says Smart Buddy on the front of it. They take forever. 2 inches of water added to my 20-gallon long. It took an hour and 40 minutes. Right. But with the pump, I get 5 gallons an hour. The RO Buddy's waistline comes out about 5 to 10 higher. Oh, yeah, TDS than the tap water. Yeah, well, it's because it's got all the minerals in it. Tap 335, RO waste about 342. Oh, yeah, well, my tap water is 98 to 102, and when it comes out in the wastewater, it's 170. Yeah, 170, 165 to 175. So that's how much it pulls out. But it's, I'm about to test the waters again. You need to test your, yeah, that's what I have. Smart Buddy, Don. That's what it said. That's all I could read. I don't have my glasses on me. All I see was Smart Buddy. But you need to test your tap water and see if you have nitrates in your tap water. Because if not, sounds to me like your fish store might be selling you tank water. But, that's just crappy. You're going there to get RO water, and they're selling you water with nitrates in it. Holy hell, I would go up there with a baseball bat and give a couple tanks the crack test. Ding, ding, ding. What are you doing? I'm seeing if this glass will crack, if it's tempered or not. Up. Yep, there it is. That one's no good. Might want to call that one in. What'd you do that for? Well, that's about all the water you sold me and ripped me off. But, yeah. I'm about to test the waters. Yeah, when I got the RO machine, it was cool. But I was really sad on how slow it went. So that's when I went, because I bought the RO machine down the street. I took I took something in to sell it, and they gave me a store cred. I was like, well, hey, what about this? And they said, yeah. They said, you want that. So then I went to my buddy's store, and I was telling him about it. I was like, yeah, man, that water, oh my gosh. I said, it takes forever to get 5 gallons. I said, man, I'll grow old. This stuff evaporates faster than it comes out. And, I sweat faster. taking a dump, you know. So he said, hey, try this pump. I was like, yeah, but what's this do? He's like, you probably don't have enough water pressure. I was like, you probably don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. Well, maybe I did. But, I mean, my water comes out fast. But, guess not fast enough. Because, I mean, you, like, may need commercial power or something. But anyways, I hooked that sucker up. And it changed my life. Like I said, I get a 1-to-1 ratio now. When it was a 4-to-1 ratio, I have a 1-to-1, and I get 5 gallons every hour. To me, that's incredible. I mean, that's fast. So, you know, if I leave it run for 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, I could fill that can up in 5 hours, fill up 5 cans. In a day, I have all my cans, all my buckets full, and that can's refilled. In a day. So I can drain it all out doing water changes and have it all filled up in a day. When before, holy hell, it'd take me a whole day to fill up 10 gallons. You know, so the RO or that pump is, it's got to be, if you do RO, it's, I mean, you can't live without it. You can't. You just can't. It's like waiting in line to, you know, to get a coffee, and when you get up there, they're on lunch. They're not even serving coffee anymore. You know, and you're like, son of a, you know, it's, get an RO, buddy, a 30-gallon trash can, put a float valve on it, and all problems with RO are solved. Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is, okay, tap TDS is 55. Holy shnikes. So you have literally nothing in your water. You need to check your GH, your KH, nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. Check all that. Because if your TDS is 55, you might just be able to use your regular tap water for your Caridina and just add salt, add minerals. If your KH is 1 or lower, it can even be, I can't believe I'm saying this. It can even be 2, 3 if you're gonna put tigers in it. You know, orange eye blue tigers, tangerine tigers, stuff like that. You can give them a little KH. They actually like a little. I don't give it to them, but there was a time that I used to mix half tap water, half RO for my tangerine tigers. But that just became too hard, so now I do everything this way. All the RO and then all the tap water. So that's just how it is. Oh yeah, 55. Holy hell. Either your TDS pen's jacked, or you have Jesus water. I don't know. And put it in a warm room. Yeah, temp makes a big difference. Okay, hey, Don, you know what I found out from Corey from Aquarium Co-op? Which was really cool. You know, I don't know, I usually don't like all the super cool people, you know, but the guy's got a lot of interesting information. I have to say, I watch him. I learn from the guy. He's not like others. So I give him a thumbs up. But he said, put your air pumps, you know, like my big, huge pumps, put them up high, as high as you can get them in the room to the ceiling, because all the heat is up there. And, you know, the pump sucks the air from out in the room. So all the heat at the top of the room, it's pumping it into the tanks, and it warms the tanks up. So in the wintertime, you're not running heaters, but your pumps are all the way up at the ceiling, sucking in all that hot air, and they're warming your tanks up a degree or 2. You know, I'll take 2 degrees all day. You know, I'm in the basement with cinder block walls. You know, I mean, I have carpet underneath my racks now, which I didn't have last year, but I have it all. They're carpeted all underneath now. And I can't get anything on the back wall, but I might, you know, put foam underneath, you know, for the bottom rack. But I mean, last year it stayed 70, 72 down here all year, but these were on concrete then. So Pumpkin King might be able to sell your water to you. There you go. Go sit back to the fish store. Tell him you got a deal for him. Then somebody, I got a message today. Somebody messaged me asking for help with their shrimp. And they said that, I won't say who, but they said that their shrimp, they had glass shrimp, ghost shrimp, that they bought some. They had guppies in their tank. They have really hard water. They had guppies in their tank. They took the guppies out, to have these shrimp in there. And the shrimp died or are dying. I want to know why. And I said, well, shrimp can be finicky. What kind of water do you have them in? Because, look, I don't ask anybody what's your water parameters, because everyone says they're perfect. Fish Tropic, what up? They always say they're perfect. So, since they're perfect, I'm not going to ask, but she was saying, I said, well, what's your TDS at? Can you believe she came back? She said she's on well water. She came back, told me her TDS is at 500. Well, I don't know if you guys know. You should punch it up if you've never heard of it, but 500 is unconsumable for humans. It's not supposed to be consumed, because it can have bad stuff in it. They say that it's 500. And, I grew up on well water. I mean, I didn't have it every day of my life because I went, we had a spring dug, but most of my life I drank spring water straight out of the ground. What people pay to have in a bottle, and then they're just getting tap water. Well, I had the real thing. So let's say a third of my life I drank, well water because my aunt had well water. But, 500 is no bueno. So, I told her, I said, well, look, it's, shrimp can take high, TDSs and stuff, but, 500, I mean, you're talking, you could probably drop this cane into it and it'll stand straight up and down. It's some thick stuff. But then she said that she puts distilled water in it, to weaken it down and stuff. So I don't know. It's hard. It was a hard answer to give her, but she said she didn't realize that her TDS was so high in her that's it's not good for you, because she looked it up, I guess, and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I've been feeding this to my babies, my children, since they were born." And I was like, "Well, I'm sure it's not going to kill you, because you're probably not the only one in the world that's drinking 500 TDS well water, but I mean, you're probably drinking Chevy fenders, rusted swing sets. It's not good. 500 is very bueno bad. Not good. And here's the thing is, some people say that, oh, you could put Neo's like super high TDS, and it's like, well, I don't know how high is high. I mean, who's to say where high ends? Okay, here's a good story. The other day I came down here, as I do every day, and I turned the tanks on and just look. I don't know. I have a thing. I always got to check on everybody, make sure everybody's doing good. I think the biggest thing is to see babies, to see a new batch of babies, because Usually when I see pregnant females that are really, their eggs are really getting dark, then I start putting little bits of Bacter AE stuff, add extra leaves, stuff like that. Well, I came down here the other day, and I don't know, somebody posted a video today. Who was it? I can't remember who it was, but they said, oh, look, they're trying to escape, and they're showing their shrimp crawling up out of the water. Well, to me, if the shrimp are crawling out of the water, then the water parameters are probably off, and they're trying to get out. But yesterday, I came down here. Me and my wife were down here feeding tanks and stuff, and I looked just out of the corner of my eye. I looked down into the orange pumpkin tank, and I was like, wow, look at all those babies. God, there's so many babies. Then something just caught my eye. I was like, oh my gosh, one of the adults in there has severe necrosis. I was like, how is that possible? I had no answer. So I reached for my trusty favorite net. You can get these at Detroit Shrimp and Aquatic or DetroitShrimpAquatics.com. Oh yeah, they're incredible. Yeah, and I looked down there, and there was a snow white Caridina in the orange pumpkin Neocaridina tank, chilling like a villain. Not an issue in the world. And I sat here and thought to myself, are you kidding me? Snow whites can go in tap water, high mineralized water with KH. And this isn't the first time it's happened. For one, I don't know how it got there because every one of my shelves have wood on it. So he can't like get up, crawl out, and fall, boo, boo, bloop, and end up in there like he used to. So now he like has to get out, crawl down, swing, bloop, end in this one, crawl down, swing, end in that. I have no clue. But there's a snow white in there. Don't know how, but he got down there and lived to talk about it. But I scooped him out, put him back up in the top. And he didn't have no dings, dents, nothing. Nothing was wrong with him. So that just opens my eyes even more to show me that, you know, the shrimp are way more their abilities to adapt and overcome, I think, are way better than we give them credit for. Who was it? Hey, what's happening, Chubbs? What's up, Brian? All the shrimp you sent me are doing great. Well, excellent. Well, here is an example. Mr. Chubbs on the Bayou contacted me a few weeks ago and said that he was at a store and bought. It's not that it's unheard of, but he said he bought crystal red shrimp in regular fish tank tap water at the fish store, chilling. The shrimp had babies in tap water. These were tap water raised shrimp. Good to go. So, look, most of us know, if not all of us know, that crystal reds, not so much. You got crystal reds, crystal blacks, which would possibly mean that PRLs, PBLs, the same, but they say they can go in tap water, you know, at KH, you know, stuff like that. Well, there's Caridina I got from my ups. And hard water and with guppies, Neocaridina are doing great. See, so he bought shrimp from his local fish store, Caridina's, Crystal Reds, and they're doing fine. I'm just wondering if I should if I should make a mixed tank of Caridinas in tap water and see what happens. It sounds like a test. Because I'll tell you right now, if I can do them all in the same water, that would be sweet. I even have skeleton bones in tap. Skeleton bones. Okay, B, everything is done. All right. Shadow Panda. Yes. Orange-eyed tigers also. Yeah, now I know the orange-eyed tigers can go in there. I know tangerine tigers can go in there. That's what I'm saying. Anything, well, crystal reds, crystal blacks, PRLs, PBLs, but I never heard like straight tap. I just heard that they can have KH, which put your calls in the... Yes, I will. I'm going to do it, Don. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Pumpkin King says he has GH of 2, KH of 1, everything else is so low it's not registered. Well, to me, Pumpkin King, if I had your water, I would not get a filtration system. I would use your tap water, and I would just put shrimp, the salt, or get the liquid. I don't know if you got the liquid yet, but I would just remineralize your water, dude. Leave your KH where it is, and just bump your GH up. I don't believe that you have anything that's sensitive, but I mean, at your water, I mean, you could get hey, it ain't that funny? Isn't that funny that you have such perfect water, but your local fish store sells you water that has nitrates in it? How you like that? So they're selling you trash. No bueno. I'd have to put that on my local page or something and let people know. Or I'd have to go up there and have a little talk with them. So I wouldn't put it on the page. But to me, you got perfect water. Now, the only reason I would get an RO system. Now, see, look, dude, and here's the thing is, you're a guy that's starting to pack your garage full of tanks, and all this and that. One day, I mean, it could happen. I don't know if it ever would. You hear horror stories, but you hear about the city pumping stuff through the water system to kill a bacteria or something. It comes to your house, you pump it out of your pipes, bam, you put it in your tanks, wipe them out. So, what you could do is just get a carbon block or just get one filter and run your water through that one filter to just make sure that there's no chemicals in it. You don't want to remove nothing else, just that, and it'd probably take that 1 kH out of there. So, dude, I would just remineralize your tap water, bro. And I wouldn't even. You got like perfect water. The bad thing is you have crappy water for, most fish because it's so soft. You have to add for like cichlids and stuff. But, I mean, I don't know. I think I'd rather have water come out of my taps faster and perfect than have to wait for our home machine to do it. I don't know. It's, That's ridiculous. Yeah, you look good. Oh yeah, dude. Phew. Man, you're like super lucky. All right, hold on, I gotta move my hose. Look, there's like 12 baby uh uh blue steels on this hose. That was cute. That's what I'm saying. Shrimp love when you do a water change and do it slow. They all come to the bottom and play in it, come up and hang on that tube and just enjoy the fresh, pure water that you're pumping in there. I don't care what anybody says. They love it. Over 5 tanks, RO. Shrimpery, RO. Anything sensitive, RO, and expensive. Yes. Rain season is here. There you go. Try not to do water changes on those days or prep your water 2 days in advance. Yeah. He's right. Yeah, you can get that groundwater, get through your pipes and stuff. And where have you been, Tropic? Oh yeah, you've been fishing. I've been seeing all your videos and all those big, huge salmon you've been catching, or what are those lake trout or whatever? The big, huge. They're not called lake trout. They're not. Yeah. Anyways, those are trout, aren't they? Fish Tropico. Yes. It's nice to see his blue rinse back. I was getting worried for a minute. Hey, has it been pouring rain at everybody's crib? I don't know what way it's running, but it rained yesterday, and then it started kicking in around 6 o'clock here. Oh, I only got 10 minutes left. Luke goes to bed at 10. King Salmon. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we kind of shut everything down at 10 because he lays down to go to bed. And then, Mama gets up in the morning to go to work, and then I get up to start school with Luke. So I get up at 8:30 to get him started at 9. Mama leaves at 8:45 to go to work. So yeah, and I'm right under Luke's room, and I talk loud, so I don't want to be down here keeping him up. So we got about 12 minutes left. 12 minutes. Dude, I can get some 55-gallon plastic barrels for free. I might get some and drop in the charcoal block. Dude, I'm telling you, those 55-gallon barrels are incredible to fill them up. Rainwater is really good. Just make sure that they're food grade and that they didn't have anything in them that is a chemical, and then wash them. And even if they say there was anything in it, wash it. Just make sure, like, stick your hand in there and rub it on and make sure there's no greasy oils or anything in there. Because if there is, you don't want to, you can use soap and water, and rinse it out really, 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 really good. And then, in my opinion, I would let it dry for, till there's no more water in there. Completely dry. Not wipe it out and the next day go, oh, look, it's dry. No, let it dry for, quite a few days. So anything in there will die, anything after you wash it. And then fill them up. I wish I could do 55-gallon barrels. I just don't have the room with the way we set our home up, down here with the way everything sits. The 25-gallon, but that's why I have buckets. Ooh, I lost one of Galaxy Fishbone. $60 mistake. Rain? Ain't seen it since 98. That's what nukes a few of my shrimp. Hey, Luke. What nuked a few of your shrimp, Tropic? Oh, was it water after it rained or chemicals coming through your tap? Is that what you're speaking of? Oh yeah, shoot. Well, too bad you live so far away, dude. I would just give you one to replace it. I just went through a big ordeal with 55-gallon drums. My solution to figure out if the drum was safe is to put some duckweed in the drum floating. If it kills the duckweed, it's not good. Yeah, but I'm not a plant I mean, I have a horticulture degree and all that stuff. Went to school for it for a year, but I went for design, horticulture design, to design like people's homes and front lawns and get them the right trees and how to graft trees together and stuff like that. So I can't say yes or no. But there's like 8 Black King Kong shadows on that pipe now, all where the water comes out. They love that fresh water so much. I can't say, because I mean, what if, just what if, Chubbs, that you put a piece in there that's maybe struggling, and it just dies from dying just because it was a weak piece, and it makes you think that there was something in there bad. I mean, it could be the best idea in the world. I'm not trying to deny or say anything about it. It's probably an incredible idea, putting a plant in it. But yeah, in my opinion, I mean, as far as whatever that's worth, if it's plastic and it's food safe, if you scrub it out, because look, not for nothing, but I clean my tanks out. God, I've used CLR to get the buildup off. Put bleach in there to kill anything that's in it. I rinse the crap out of it and then let it air dry. All you got to do is make it. See, if you don't smell bleach, there's none in there. And I fill them up and away I go. I mean, I don't use CLR anymore because I have a new way. I mean, I was down to sand and glass, because people got those saltwater tanks, and they're so crusted, and they'll be like, "Here, you want it?" And you're like, "Wow, that's an expensive tank." Okay, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll take it. Now I'll clean it. Now I'm gonna sell it. Then you fill that sucker up, pour CLR in there, and it eats all that, makes it soft, and you razor blade it off, and then rinse it, scrub it with soap and water, rinse it. I mean, it's fun. Now, I'm not saying that. I can't believe how many shrimp are on this. This is incredible. And that they like it so much. Yee. But yeah, I mean, throw some plants in there. But what? Oh, here's another one. What if it's a really hardy plant and whatever's in there is not strong enough to kill it? And your plants, Chubbs, are probably super hardy. What's that tropic? Well, hopefully the female of the 6 I got drops. Pumpkin, dude, I want them. But you want what? My red fishbones? Yeah, they're having babies left and right, boy. Thanks to Dan Slee, down is the best. Hot ticket. Yeah. Like I said, I bought my red fishbones. I don't know. They were having a sale, and they're. I mean, even at the highest price then, it was cheaper than what they go for now. But I bought 20 of them, and I don't know, maybe about 3 or 4 died. They had babies one time, never ever had babies again. I was like, what the heck? So I've been sitting on them forever. And I was talking to Mr. Slee. Grand Slam, Yankees up 5-4, woo! And Mr. Slee said, hey, why don't you just try pulling some out, put them in another tank, and, you might be male heavy, and they're like, stressing out your females, and they won't have babies. Oh, God!
You just heard me sleep.
I did not. What? I know I'm getting off at 10, 4 minutes. Yeah. So I moved some. I probably moved, 8 of them during the show. And now both tanks, this tank over here is on its second or third batch already. And this one over here, I think, has had one batch. They're new. They're small. But I haven't had babies in, a year. They've just been living. And I was afraid they were going to die from old age before they had babies. No, well, yeah, but the Shadow King Kongs. Yeah. Yeah, I got a ton of them. They're my faves. I mean, I have both kinds. I have the Black King Kong body style, and then the Black King Kong Extreme Shadows. The ones you got. Good night, all. Good stream again, Brian. Thank you, Don. Yeah, we shut this down. I got 3 minutes. Mama just came and said that Luke's going to bed. We can go to bed with the last view of the Dandalorian. But all right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my moderators for hanging out, making the show super funny and happy and everything you guys do. I really appreciate it. Pumpkin King, Fish Tropic, it's really good seeing you again, brother. Hope you're going to be around more. I know you've been living the life. I would too if I had that type of fish around here. But it's good to see you guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out. Thank you, Muppets. Cyclic 23. Let me know when you get your package, sir. Mike Green. What up? But, yeah, so make sure you tell your friends about the channel. Saying fishing is art. Tell your friends about the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet, could you please hit subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for doing all you guys do. Being subscribers and hanging out and loving shrimp so much. But all right, everybody. While I am Pike and Muskie starting. Oh, whatever, dude. I really hate you now. But all right, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out here in the D.